This week, we answer the question, do I look like a fucking asshole? I'm Derek.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Jack. Boom!
This is Bad Movies,
Worst People!
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Sorry, this week we watched a movie that had I was going to say starred, but it had a decent amount of Andrew Dice Clay.
I mean, he's starring on the cover,
Yeah.
but he's not starring in this movie as much
He
as
starred
I think
in the end.
I think I want him in more.
Yeah, he took 45 minutes off. It's
Yeah. Just couldn't get him out of his trailer, man.
It's all that cocaine. They tried to get him out, but he's like, he couldn't see because everything's shot during the daylight and the sun was too bright. His pupils wouldn't get smaller.
I have no fucking part of this. Wake me up in a couple of hours. Boom.
He kept yelling racist things at Don the Dragon Wilson. And
I'm sure of it, dude.
You are disgusting.
There are a couple of reactions from Don the Dragon Wilson that does not look like him acting. It's just like, Jesus Christ, you're a fucking revolting human being.
but he's laughing about it.
Yeah. I mean, they're letting Andrew Dice Clay just go in this movie. I think his script was like just improv.
All his lines just said, be a cop,
Yep,
say
be,
stuff.
Be a funny cop. And he tried.
Did he?
He tried.
He
He tried.
So the name of the movie is?
Oh, yeah. The name of the movie is Whatever It Takes, which is what we were going to do last week.
But you didn't want a divorce.
I didn't want Whitney to beat me.
Thank
You
you.
got one more week in you. It's good.
God, 42 feels good, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's 1998. The movie is called Whatever It Takes. The
Shocked.
stars.
Shocked when you said 98, by the way. This has a mid-80s feel to it.
I was going to
Look,
say
feel.
92 with the latest because
I
of
would
the
have said
clothes.
88.
We have Don the Dragon Wilson. We have Andrew Dice Clay. And we have Fred the Hammer Williamson.
It's
Yeah.
a fucking nickname movie.
You got, what was it? Dragon Dice Hammer?
Dragon Dice Hammer.
Is that like rock, paper, scissors?
Yes, it is.
And I don't want anybody out there to confuse this with another movie that apparently a lot of people confused it with when I was going through the Letterboxd reviews, called Whatever It Takes, from the year 2000, starring a lot of people. I mean, the main stars are people none of us know. But
Okay.
I went through these credits. We got Aaron Paul, James Franco, Colin Hanks, Richard Schiff, Nick Cannon, David Ketchner. Like,
Holy shit. And these
Was
are,
it like a coming out of high school thing?
it's like
Coming
a
of
modern
age?
remake of Cyrano.
Oh.
Like James Franco is one of the main characters, presumably the suave one that's
Okay.
giving him the
sure,
Cyrano
he's not going to do
lines.
anything else.
Well, I mean, 2000, that's pre-Freaks and Geeks, right?
Mhm.
So he was still nobody.
Yeah. Well,
He probably hadn't
nobody
started. He
again
probably
soon.
hadn't started, raping students yet. So.
Was Seth Rogen's in it?
No, Seth Rogen wasn't a person yet.
He was
when
just
is-
some Canadian
I
stoner.
love Donnie Darko, but I can't remember the year. You know what? I can't remember the year. 2001,
There you
because
go.
it got fucked up because of September 11th.
One more thing they took from us.
And that was Seth Rogen's kind of first
I don't
role.
remember him in that movie.
He's one of the bullies. He tells that girl, "I like your boobs."
He meant that. Like,
that
he-
wasn't scripted.
Just
and
a
he does
statement.
and he does cocaine in the hallway with the other bully, and that's pretty much all he
I've
does in
only
that movie.
seen
Again,
it.
unscripted.
I like remember it was one of those movies that was always on that I never really watched, and then I watched it with you.
Yeah, that's one of those movies I've only seen probably 30 or 40 times.
But I watched
Jesus
it early
Christ.
on in our marriage, right? Like we're living at Bleep Bleep.
I think I made you watch it when I got the 20th anniversary.
Oh,
thing.
was it here?
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't know. Doesn't matter because that's not this movie.
Oh.
You wish it was.
This movie, by the way, I would have loved to have watched Donnie Darko.
This movie.
No episode needed.
This movie, by the way, not rated because
Also-
it's made straight for video.
It does not have any unnecessary cats.
No. I kind of
There's
wish there
no
were
meows,
a couple times. I
right?
wanted some of those just random stray meows.
Well, it had an unnecessary director. This guy Brady MaKenzie.
Uh-huh.
This is it. And he was fired while they were editing by Don the Dragon Wilson, and the dragon just finished editing himself. He's like, "Fuck
For
it."
why?
They didn't say. It was in the trivia, But presumably he wasn't editing it the way the dragon thought it should be edited.
Was he trying to fit in more boobs and butts and biceps?
Probably.
The 3 Bs of filmmaking.
I feel like the dragon was going very Van Damme at that point with what was a hard target, right? Where he's like, no, you got to cut it different. You got to make me look cooler.
Whoever cut the version of Hard Target that I saw, God bless them. That's all I'm going to say.
I want John Woo's cut.
All right, so release the Woo cut.
Release the Woo cut.
Hashtag.
Everybody, hashtag release the Woo cut.
Yeah.
And but don't explain it. Just send that hashtag out. Let's see what happens.
Ooh.
It's fucking like, what, 20 years later?
And then when you click on the hashtag, there's absolutely nothing in
People are
it.
still talking about Hard Target? Jesus Christ.
You type in the hashtag, the thing pops up. It's like, it says how many people have been using it, and it's like 47.
It's me with like 47 different burner
That's what I was about to
accounts.
say about me.
Well, that'll cut our work down in half then. Perfect.
These writers didn't really do much. Jack Capiche, I think it's Capace, but
I read it as like Jack. Hey, Jack, capiche?
and Raymond Obstfeld. Jack Capiche did another Dragon Wilson movie, and that other guy did a documentary about the Harlem Wrens, some basketball team, and an episode of Veronica Mars.
Oh,
Ooh.
So
yeah, that got you.
I loved
That's
Veronica.
doing it for you.
I loved Veronica Mars. Dude, don't you love Dax's wife?
Who?
Dax Shepard.
Oh, Kristen. That's all right.
I love Kristen
She
Bell.
ain't doing much for me.
she was only cool when she had electric powers. Oh, also Good Place.
She's good. Yeah, she's good in the good place. I like her right there. She's like that Lake Havasu trash.
We did kind of comment while watching this that it was actually shot pretty well. Like there's some cool lighting and stuff in certain parts. I mean, there's the boom mic
for
shadow,
what this
but-
is.
Ooh.
For what this is, there are some really cool frame ups and light work, and yeah, Whitney definitely caught the shadow of the boom mic and operator on the shadow of a wall in a pretty intense scene too.
Yeah.
The cinematographer, a guy named Andrea, he's Italian, so I don't know how you would pronounce it, but something
Massimo.
Rosato. He shot last month's episode, Venomous.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He also shot another Treat Williams movie called Crash Point Zero.
Not
like
a horror movie where we've
It's
done
like
it.
it's like a helicopter crash rescue ice movie.
I'm in on that.
I don't know, cliffhanger something.
Yeah, I'm in on that.
He's also known for shooting things like Super Gator, Camel Spiders, Piranhaconda, and
heroin.
Ratpocalypse.
Those all sound like they would match up well on this show.
Yeah.
He also made a movie called Urban Legends. Oh, no, wait, sorry. Sexy Urban Legends.
Whoa! you had me and you threw sexy in front of it. I'm not out.
Also, wasn't Urban Legends just Sexy Urban Legends? Didn't they just throw a bunch of sexy kids in that movie?
Yeah, you had up and coming Rebecca Gayheart. That was the curly hair chick.
It was a bunch of just young, sexy, whatchamacallits.
Joshua Jackson in that one?
Yeah, Joshua Jackson.
Yeah.
I keep thinking
Pacey.
fucking. I know who Joshua Jackson
okay.
is.
Think of Rebecca Gayheart?
No, I'm thinking
I
of
am.
the Skull Club or whatever.
Skull and Bones.
Yeah, that's what I keep picturing.
Oh no,
instead of
Urban Legends was the pseudo horror movie.
Urban
slasher.
Legends was like a post-Scream horror movie that was also kind of trying to be Final Destination.
Was it
Was
after
it-
2000?
I think
Right
it was like
around
2000, 2001.
Like after Dawson's Creek when Pacey got
I think he was still in Dawson. I don't know when Dawson's Creek was on. So
I
Yeah.
want to say like sophomore, junior year.
it was
so
like
98.
85 to 2014, I think.
98.
If you listen closely, it's still going. Nope, stop it. Get sued. That's how you get Joshua Jackson.
Ooh.
He's got a lot of time these days. They're not doing a Fringe movie, so.
Dude, I freaking loved Fringe.
Uh-huh.
We just watched it recently. I mean, that last season blew, but
Hey, hashtag release the Woo cut. Hashtag Fringe movie
please get it going.
with John Woo. Is that a thing?
Yeah, let's have him
Can
do it.
we do that?
There'll just be fucking doves all over the place.
Oh God.
These doves are from the other universe. It's a universe where everybody is doves.
See that dove shimmering?
So Don the Dragon Wilson,
Okay,
who
yeah,
most of
right.
our listeners are probably not familiar with.
I wasn't.
know you guys aren't. I am, but
Yeah.
I suck. So he was he was a kickboxing champion, and I was looking up his record because it was on IMDb. So
Yeah.
I've got his record here. Pretty impressive.
Go on.
71 wins, 5 losses, 2 draws.
Ooh, what did he
Wow.
draw? Probably
A
a picture of him
dragon.
kickboxing. What do they call him? Why do they call him
JC?
the dragon? He just hands you a picture. There you go. This one's flying. Dude looks like a cross between Lou Diamond Phillips, Dean Cain,
Yes.
and acting wise, much closer to Dean Cain than Lou Diamond Phillips.
Yeah.
Let's get that out of the way. The guy's a great fighter, but he is an actor. He is not.
No, and I mean, I've watched a ton of his movies ranging from the 80s up until around this time, probably a little later, and he never gets better.
Yeah.
It's like Cynthia Rothrock, who I've talked to you guys about. It's like, how can you be in so many movies and never improve?
Yeah. His deliveries are as bad as the George McFly rehearsing, "Get your damn hands off her." It's so
Get
bad.
your damn hands off her.
Except Crispin Glover's competent.
Well, that's because he was acting like he couldn't act.
Oh,
See?
and that's why it fucking worked.
But Don the Dragon Wilson was in Batman Forever,
As
a gang leader.
Oh.
That's like his top known for thing. Probably because it's the biggest movie.
Wait. He's the one with the neon. I just watched this last week.
Okay, I haven't
he's the
seen it
one
in
with the
20 years.
neon skull face paint, and he's the fighter. He's the one in the
okay.
gang that fights. Oh God, who the fuck plays Robin? Chris O'Donnell. He fights Chris O'Donnell.
You started thinking, and I was like, Batman? That's the word you're looking for, Batman.
Hey, you know what? I can think of Batman's name because these guys make sure I know that Batman
Oh, yeah, they
exists
discuss
in this
Batman more than
universe.
once.
Yeah.
But he's in some other movies that we're going to do on here, so you guys can just
I can't
be
wait.
ready.
His bad acting makes me wish I was watching Renegade, man. It's awesome.
Oh, wife, you know what you might know him from, but not visually?
Oh.
He was John Liu's voice in New York Ninja. The titular New York Ninja. He's the one who did the
that's
dub
right.
over.
Okay, yeah.
'Cause New York
That's
Ninja
why
is-
I thought he was in one of those movies.
Because Cynthia
Because
Rothrock
we
is
were-
also
yeah.
dubbing a voice in that movie.
Okay.
Gotcha.
It's good times. Anyway, we also have Andrew Dice Clay, who wasn't in too many movies, but he was a stand-up in the 90s. But he had
He's
The
known for
Adventures of Ford
smoking.
Fairlane.
Hey.
The Adventures of Ford Fairlane, which is referenced in this movie.
Yes, it
And
is.
apparently, I just heard this the other day, and I didn't know this. He was in that new A Star Is Born with Lady Gaga and, well, not new anymore, but you know what I mean, the newest.
I don't.
He was like, it was
Rocket, the guy who
Rocket
plays
Raccoon
Rocket.
and Lady Gaga.
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper.
He played like her uncle or something, and I'm like, huh, because I heard it on another podcast. I think they discussed it, and they were like, he's actually really good.
Really?
Really?
And you know what? I can believe it because I didn't think he was that bad in this. I mean, he's got his stupid '90s fucking tough guy sleazebag jokes.
Yeah.
But like, there were some scenes, like I have a note in here when it comes up, where he's actually like delivering, and I was like, maybe it's because he's with the dragon.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you're doing such a good job.
He's definitely the better out of the two. Well, four if you count the other two cops that come in later.
Pope and
Brigand or
Bracken?
Bilbo?
Something. Bilbo. Sounds about right.
I thought it was like Brackmore.
I don't know.
Brigadier.
All right.
Officer Bilbo.
Can
I
we
like
talk
that.
about this intro?
Yes. So we start out with tushies and biceps
And tummies.
and tummies and legs.
That's why the guy got fired. He's like, more of this.
Yeah. Dragon was like, so how long is this intro? He's like, 37 minutes. I shot for
Wait till
12
you
hours.
see the outro.
Apparently, John Waters directed this now.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, no one shit on each other. Never mind.
Not in this cut.
But yeah, it's just a bunch of close-ups of tushes and biceps because this movie is a version of two movies we've done already. Pain and Gain and The Substitute 3.
Yeah.
It's another
Yeah,
steroid
steroids.
bodybuilding. One of them is a bodybuilding movie. One of them is a steroid movie. Combine those, you get
Smash
this.
them together.
Yeah.
Take out all real actors and insert, people.
Take out the real director, I guess that's what we're going to call Michael Bay, and replace it with Brady
I mean,
MaKenzie,
we can call
whatever the
Michael
fuck this
Bay a
guy's
real
name is.
director, I guess.
I mean, versus
I
Brady
mean, he
MaKenzie.
did give us The
Yeah.
Rock.
He gave us The Rock.
And he gave us The Rock in that movie.
And
The Rock's best movie.
We took the Rock is out of this movie and we put it in this fucking monster.
What were we
man.
calling him? Cena.
Pre John Cena. It's like the dawn of Cena.
Joker Cena.
Cena, Joker, Joker.
Like,
Cena.
this guy's got a Joker mouth like you wouldn't fucking believe.
So the movie starts after the Tushies with Don Wilson being very poorly fake drunk and pretending to paint a painting in his
I still think he
thing.
really painted that.
It's a tough thing to act drunk. It's like very clear when you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Especially when you've never been drunk
But
before.
this is maybe that's the thing. Like this is some of the worst drunk acting I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He only has images of his dad being drunk, never him.
Yeah, he's like this fucking martial arts dude. He
Exactly.
probably didn't go out and party and shit a lot. Like
Van
either
Damme
that or he did.
Van Damme did.
Yeah.
That's my hero.
That's just cocaine, though.
Oh, come on. Yeah, you're just going to do cocaine and have a fucking like a glass of water? Cocaine without alcohol is useless.
I have a friend that does that.
That's useless.
No, we don't. We don't know anybody who does drugs.
Nope. I definitely don't.
So he's trying to kill himself. Well, he holds a gun to his own chin and acts sad.
Yeah.
And we get a flashback to why now. So we start, it's like Quentin Tarantino directed it, right?
It's
It
only
starts
2
with
weeks,
the end.
though.
And then
And John Travolta's taking a shit. You know.
So we go back, and basically they're undercover. Him and Dice are undercover with these drug people, and they pull up, and there's like they're getting ready to do the bust at this place, and there are all these undercovers around, and they even say they're like, it looks like a goddamn cop convention. It's just like guy on telephone pole.
It's Wayne's World 2 when they're staking out
Yes,
fucking
yes.
Christopher Walken into your
Yes,
career.
1,000%.
It's so fucking bad. And he even says, too, he's like, oh, fucking farmers convention out here. You know how I feel about farmers.
Got a thing about farmers.
Yeah,
Hey, you know what? This is Dice's. I don't know. Dice's prejudice. It's gonna come back at the end.
Dice's dice board. No, like sit on that joke for the next hour and 30 minutes because we're going to come back to farmers and it's going to mean nothing, but we'll come back to it.
But a
They
great
must
laugh.
have shot the first and last scene at the same time, and like
Oh,
Dice
that's-
was just still going off about farmers.
That's what it was. He only accepted a certain amount of money for so many hours, and he's like, "Yo, I'm only gonna be here for
You've
this
got
and this."
3 fucking days.
Exactly.
Use them.
Except his
I gotta get
wardrobe.
back on tour. I'm still
Oh.
selling out.
Dude, there is somebody that needs a fucking Oscar in this movie, and it's the wardrobe department. Having fun all around, too. It's
Yeah.
not just Andy Dice.
No,
Oh
it's
no!
Fred.
also-
the Hammer's costumes are
The
awesome.
Hammer is dressing like I want to dress.
Based on the movies I've seen him in the past, this may just be his wardrobe.
Okay.
He just showed
Makes
up.
me like him so much
I mean,
more.
I feel like Dice actually owns that purple sleeved jacket.
Yeah.
Also,
Oh, yeah. Andrew Dice Clay's not wearing anything that Andrew Dice Clay would
well,
not
the
wear.
budget on this movie was only $2 million.
So bring
Wear
your own
your own
wardrobe.
So yeah, makes
BYO
perfect
dubs.
sense.
and that's why it was like, "Yo, nope, just a little bit." I can't do his accent. Sorry.
Yeah,
I
you know
tried.
what?
Close
He can
enough.
barely do it, so keep it up.
Also,
just,
I
just
love
sound like an asshole from New York. You're
I
fine.
love that the name,
Hey, I'm walking here.
Perfect.
the name, the voice, everything was all a character.
Uh-huh.
That's not how he talks at all. I've never heard him actually talk. I've heard that's not how he talks. I just imagine it being like, "Well, thank you guys for having me today."
It's like Larry the Cable Guy goes home. He's like, what a terrific day of acting. That was...
You mean Dan Whitney?
Yeah, Dan Whitney here. I would like to order a large pizza pie.
So there's one thing that is like burned in my brain with the Dice man, and it's him as he's like a bouncer or a doorman at a door.
Okay.
And he's
There
got
you go.
his black t-shirt, tight jeans, and his sleeves are
Uh-huh.
rolled up, and he's flicking a toothpick at somebody, and that's all I fucking remember.
Toothpick, not cigarette, huh?
Or maybe he has a toothpick in his
I don't
mouth,
know.
and like,
Maybe he was on like Full House or something.
no, it was a movie.
You know the Full House episode where the kids try and sneak into that club?
You telling me it didn't happen?
No, I guess I can't tell you that.
I don't know. There was like what 8 seasons of that show,
then
then
they
like
rebooted
6
it.
more of the new one.
Yep.
Whatever happened to
Nope, don't
Andrew
start me.
Dice Clay?
Say, don't you start me with fucking theme songs now, man.
But yeah, I don't know what movie that was.
It sounds like something he would do, though. I mean, that's
Yeah.
pretty much the character he always played. He'd either be a doorman,
Uh-huh.
a douchebag. Well, he's always a douchebag, but a doorman, like a greaser, or a thug. I was actually
Yeah.
surprised to see him as a cop.
A cop, but also wearing the leather jacket for Indian motorcycles. I mean,
Yeah.
still greasing.
Well, they're undercover. They're both wearing leather jackets. That's how you know they're bad guys.
But he later, when he's not undercover, when they're doing the wellness check, he's
When he
still
has-
wearing it.
yeah.
Like
Oh,
when he's
okay.
when he's above cover, you know.
I was thinking whenever they're not undercover is when he's wearing that fucking vest jacket.
he wears that undercover too, though. That's just a good look. When
That
you
was-
find a look that works for you, you
keep
don't
it.
fucking get rid of it.
If we didn't live in
Hey.
Arizona, I'd get that jacket.
I get rid of that like I got rid of my ex-wives.
Although if I put that jacket on,
Multiple.
I'd look ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like a fucking beach ball.
He did too. He just fucking carries it. He's like, I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
Oh yeah, and all he does in this movie is talk about his ex-wives. All 3 of them.
All 3 of them. I mean, this
Hey,
guy's
that means I got
riffing.
laid 3 times. It's more I can say for you. Oh,
Father, whatever your name is, Father Pharaoh. Oh.
Farrah.
Pharaoh was his undercover name. His real name was DeMarco.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
We're gonna call him the dragon.
yeah. It's the
Yeah,
dragon,
yeah.
dice, and the hammer. That's
There
what we
we
got.
There we go.
All walk into a bar.
We go to. Oh man, I bet you they did.
Yeah, and the
Yeah,
fucking
in the
dragon just sat
scene.
there and watched him drinking.
No, I mean in the movie, outside of the movie when they were filming, like
Oh.
as friends, they all walked into a bar together.
You really think that the
And the
dragon was
dragon-
going to drink with the dice?
Oh,
He
he got
was
a
the
cranberry
DD.
juice.
He was the DD.
Okay.
He's like Simon Pegg in Hot Fuzz.
We got to get to this intro. We're not even
Oh my
there
God,
yet.
that's right.
So
And
they
it
go
is- it
they
is-
go to the warehouse and they're selling drugs or they're packaging up drugs to sell. And you've got Roland, who's the skeeziest fucking dude in the world, played by a guy named Jimmy Skaggs,
He,
which sounds right.
I went to high school with the Skaggs.
Was he like this?
What was his
Yeah.
lucky number?
Was it 13?
13.
So Jimmy Skaggs, the only thing I recognized him right away because I just watched this a couple months ago, and I'm the first Puppet Master.
Okay.
He's in that, and he plays a very similar character. He's a skeezy 80s dude with like a white
Your
suit
name
and a
is
ponytail.
Skaggs. You don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of just got.
This summer, the man saves the world. Jimmy Skaggs. Doesn't sound right.
No. And I was thinking like if he got rid of the like greasy like fucking
Oily
rapist
face?
hair,
Uh-huh.
he might not look as creepy.
He'd
But
be
then I
out
was
of
like,
work.
nah, he'd be worse.
He'd be out of work.
But yeah,
You don't
he's
cut your
he's
meal
here,
ticket.
and he's the leader guy, and the dragon's automatically confrontational with him. And this lady shows up with her kid to buy some drugs because you usually bring your kid when you buy drugs.
Oh, yeah.
You know I don't.
Oh, yeah.
And she's basically trying to buy drugs for Bruno, who beats her up. And she's like, if I don't bring him drugs, he'll beat me up again.
This
And
guy
it's-
doesn't give a fuck.
No.
He's like, we fucked once.
Yeah. And she's like, she only has $10. So she's like, I'll pay you like I did before. Meh. And then this fucking guy. And they got to set him up, but they don't give him a good enough death for this setup.
No.
Not at all.
He needed to be like lit on fire and shredded to pieces.
Uh-huh.
Or like drawn and quartered.
He needed to be like burnt crotch first and then all the way up.
Oh, drawn and quartered, but instead of tying it around his legs,
Turn around his dick and balls.
one around his one ball,
Uh-huh.
one around the other ball,
Go
one
on.
around the shaft,
And?
then the other one around his neck.
Perfect.
Just
Love that. We're gonna get to we're getting to why we don't like this guy much, and I understand this scene has to be in the movie because Andrew Dice Clay is telling the dragon, he's like, we can't act until the boss gets here,
Right.
Otherwise, all this undercover works for nothing.
yeah.
So he's like, all right, I'll sit on my fucking hands for a little bit, but
Roland says that he'll give her the drugs, $50 worth of drugs, for sex with her 13-year-old daughter.
and she even says she's only 13. He goes, it's my lucky number.
This fucking guy.
Oh my gosh, you're
And-
so angry just right off the bat.
It
at
was
this
a
person.
like I said, it's necessary, but it's a really fucking uncomfortable
Yeah,
scene.
there's other ways they could
and
have done
she
it.
looks
Yeah.
fucking terrified.
Yeah.
Oh, this little girl's not acting. She is terrified to be with a
I
guy.
think she really
She's terrified to
thinks
be with
it's
Jimmy
happening.
Skaggs.
Yeah.
Who's not? And he takes her to the office, and they're like gonna let it happen until
Andrew Dice Clay tells him, he's like, calm down. You know, like maybe she gets hurt a little bit. Like, no, that's life altering shit.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
I mean, it ends up life altering anyway, but
Yes,
she
it does.
starts screaming, and that's
Well
when the
done.
dragon decides to act. He's like, I can't do this anymore. So he jumps through this window, and I was really disappointed that the window was open.
He jumps through some Venetian blinds.
He didn't know it was open though. He went foot first, man.
They were like, we'll just add in the glass with CG, and they tried it with a $2 million budget. It didn't work. So
Thank you.
That's all of our budget.
yeah, they went to Industrial Light and Magic, and they were like, all we need is a broken window, and they're like $2 million. Like, never mind.
Yeah, we need a broken window. What's your budget? $2 million. We'll take it. All of it.
Look, we had to pay the dragon, Dice, and Fred Williamson. We only have $1.5 million left. Fred Williamson deserves more than that.
Yeah.
He's gonna rape this girl. Dragon goes in, beats the shit out of him. So all the cops come in. There's a big shootout. Not enough
These
squibs.
cops are all dressed like the village people.
yes,
yes.
they are.
Again, we're
Oh my
back to
God.
Wayne's World 2.
They're
The
quote
ones
unquote
in the-
undercover, right? So you've got like the construction guy, the gangster guys, and then these dudes get out of a van dressed like a bunch of fucking
Hippies.
not even like hippies, just like hacky sack dudes.
With-
Which I mean, I
with
guess are
bulletproof vests
90s.
on.
With the vest.
bulletproof
Yeah.
vests.
It's the
How
90s
dangerous is your
hippie.
hacky sack circle? We take our hack real serious, bro.
One guy, there's not enough squibs in this scene, which
No.
is a budget thing. Some of them, there's a guy that gets shot and blood shoots out of his back, stuff like that. But a lot of people just get shot and fall.
It's all practical, but like you just stated, it's just not bloody enough for how many bullets we're firing.
But it's made up for when they light this dude on fire.
Yes.
Oh,
And he
man.
is not, it's not that light on fire, run through the scene, and you can see he's wearing all the bulky shit like in a lot of the low budget movies. This guy is on fire for 40 seconds. He's walking through this scene, waving his arms. They cut away, they cut back.
how's your
He's still
kids?
fucking walking around.
Hey, I didn't see you at the party last week. All right, well, I'll catch you later. Go see Phil.
Talking about Burning Man, speaking of hippies. Oh, and during the shootout, fucking Dice, clearly improvising again, he's just like, I'm fucking starving, man. Are you hungry? Like, while they're
Are
fighting.
you hungry? Yeah, cover me. Well, let's talk about it real quick. The absolute atrociousness of these gun sounds.
Oh my
They
gosh.
are all over the places. Shotguns sound like fucking semi-automatic weapons. Handguns sound like assault rifles. Assault rifles sound like BB guns. Like nobody gave a shit, and it kind of makes it fun.
I feel like the Foley people were like, well, we don't want it all to sound the same, and everybody has the same gun, so we'll just mix it up. No one's going to notice.
There's a scene coming up later where it's two bad guys with the exact same make and model of gun.
Two different,
Completely different
Oh, yeah,
sounds.
one is like,
One's like a
boof, boof. The other one's like, taka, 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 taka.
Wait, are you pulling the trigger as hard as I am? It doesn't sound like you. Are you making those gun noises with your mouth? You're not really shooting. You forgot your clip again, didn't you, Jimmy? No. Pew, pew, pew.
Baraka, baraka, baraka.
I'm shooting. Listen. Brapa, brapa.
I just love that scene where he's like still pulling the trigger and
There's
absolutely not.
there's no muzzle flash
And
or
he's-
nothing.
And he's not like, oh no, I'm out. Like he's actively like
Oh, yeah.
aiming and shooting.
He didn't hear him say cut, and he's like, no, I'm still shooting.
At some point in the movie, I think it might be the shootout at the end, there's just some guy running with his gun. Like he's running to another location.
Oh, to jump on top of the box.
And the special effects people decided to go ahead and still put in like the muzzle flash and the gun sound. So he's just running and it's just like, brah, brah, brah.
It is just the worst
They went to
discipline
the wrong
shooting.
actor for that one.
So there's like the Skaggs gets away with the little girl and Dragon
course.
chases him and they have a showdown. And the Dragon's like, yo, I'll let you go if you just let her go. Like, get in the car, drive away. Just don't hurt the girl. Skaggs turns around and the Dragon doesn't shoot him and then does.
Like turns back around.
This is like a Han and Greedo thing. I'm not sure who shot first.
Oh, we know.
Well,
we fucking know.
we
who
know.
shot
I know.
first,
But you know
sir.
what I mean.
Pardon me.
Okay, let me go with this is a nice guy Eddie thing. We're not sure who shot who on this one. All
That's
right?
much better. Your wife looks confused. We're talking
Han
about
shot first, right?
Yes,
Well, yes, Han shot
always, But
first.
then he went to Reservoir.
Reservoir Dogs was nice guy Eddie. There's the
Okay.
Mexican standoff.
I'll
at
tell
the
you
end.
what, dude. I would have fucking done this like Speed 1. I would have shot the hostage. Shoot that little kid right in the fucking leg.
Well,
see how far he gets.
she does get shot.
Yeah, but not by.
Pretty
the
sure
dragon.
it's by Skaggs.
Yeah, because all of a sudden now we didn't see this.
He's
He had
got
a second.
two guns.
There was a second gun.
Yeah.
On his grassy knoll.
Yeah, exactly. Second shooter shoots this girl. Skaggs gets shot. The girl is dead immediately. And
Again-
this is why the dragon is depressed.
And again, we need a better death. We need Andrew Dice Clay to like run up and empty his clip into this dude.
Yeah, this guy just gets shot twice in the shoulder and the back,
Chest,
and then just
maybe?
falls
I
over.
don't
I don't
know.
know. Like, yeah, and you know what? If he didn't get a worse death, this is when Clay should have pissed on him or
Yes,
something.
yes, yes.
Something.
Come out and just be like, hey, I got some fucking fertilizer for you. And just hot squat.
Fucking steamer.
Oh, man. It's a good thing he didn't eat any pig shit. That farmer might come back.
Ooh.
Wait, didn't
think
we have
he's
a
out of
didn't we have a
town.
guy who was selling pig shit in a recent episode?
Yeah,
Okay.
Wasn't that last week?
He's on vacation right now. He might teleconference in, though.
The problem is I have these conversations in real life too, so I'm not sure sometimes if we recorded it or not.
Was that something Jack just said, or was there a microphone in front of him?
So now we meet Fred Williamson, Fred the Hammer Williamson, playing Uncle Paulie. Now, most people, Jack, I know you did, that might be where you recognize him from Whitney, would know him from Dusk Till Dawn.
That's the only thing I really know him
Yeah,
from
he
because
plays
I don't
Frost.
watch Blood Skull 20.
He's never in a Blood Fist movie.
Oh, Blood Fist. I'm so sorry.
Blood Fist 1 through 8 was Don the Dragon Wilson.
Sorry to besmirch the good name of Blood Fist.
It's very much a blood sport
I'm
ripoff,
just a
okay?
little confused about what movie you're talking about.
But he was in a thousand things. But he's a so I'm sure the reason he was in From Dusk Till Dawn, it's a Tarantino thing, right? Where he's
Uh-huh.
like, these are the movies I grew up with, so
Yeah.
I'm going to cast everybody. Because he was in like 10 trillion blaxploitation movies,
Uh-huh.
half of them involving the N word in the title,
Yeah.
because that's what they were doing. But his first like movie role, he was in the MASH movie.
Okay.
Oh, were
Also
you
with
saying
a
MASH,
racist
not
name.
Mask?
MASH.
I was saying
No,
Mask
he was saying Mask.
earlier.
That's a
We'll get
different
to
guy.
that guy.
Okay.
This is Fred Williamson. This is the boss. He was in MASH as Dr. Oliver Jones. I skipped the middle, the nickname.
Is it a little touchy?
It involves the throwing of a spear.
Gotcha. Wow, what a nickname.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it was Vietnam,
Korea.
Well,
The match the show is Korean War, I'm pretty sure.
the movie was too then.
Okay.
I just
Yeah,
don't know.
add us if I'm wrong.
Same
Suicide is
thing.
painless.
But he was in a lot of blaxploitation movies. One of
He's
the
fantastic.
early ones being Hammer, where he got the nickname.
He's fantastic in this, and I'm going to say it right away before we get to recommendations. I'll recommend that he's in this movie more, please. Like, let me go back in time.
How far are you on Renegade?
I'm halfway through season 2.
Okay, so you haven't seen him yet because he's in season 3.
I'm so excited.
He plays a
I
character
can't wait
named
I think you
Jean-Luc
just came in my
Laveau.
couch.
Jesus, yeah, give me a towel, dude.
Oh, don't touch it. It's tingly.
There's one right next to
I
you.
just want to know. I got to watch the episode because I got to know why Fred Williamson, this big black man with a mustache, because he's always had a mustache, is playing a character named Jean-Luc Laveau.
I'm calling it now, Louisiana.
Oh, yeah.
He's Nolans. I'm
All right.
betting you, dude.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then so Lorenzo Lamas is going to take the tires off his bike and put skis on them and just go on down to I hope he does a Cajun accent. I hope Lorenzo Lamas tries to do a Cajun accent.
I thought you meant Fred Williamson.
No, he can do it. He can do it. Lorenzo cannot pull off a fucking thing except his shirt.
So I've never seen it, but he was also in Inglourious Bastards, the original, like from
Oh.
the 80s.
I was like,
and
I've
I
seen that
wonder if
now.
that has to do with Quentin Tarantino's, like if it
Another-
was a quote a soft remake.
I think
you
you're
know?
right on both of them, though. I think it's because of that, but it's also because of all these kung fu and blaxploitation
Oh yeah,
films.
I mean it's definitely blaxploitation stuff. Tarantino has a podcast called Video Archives.
Oh, yeah, they bought that store.
Yeah, the store he used to work at, the Video Archives. Him and Roger Avery bought Tarantino bought all the videotapes when
Yeah.
they went out of business, and they're basically going through the old videotapes. It's a great podcast.
It's informative. It is, dude. It is like right up your cinephile. I'm a movie buff. You are a cinephile. There is a difference.
What does that make me?
A cuck.
Probably.
Cinecuck.
A cinecuck, dude. You just have to watch him watching movies.
I mean, that's our marriage.
So we have Fred Williamson and his sidekick Joker Cena, played by a guy named Kevin Thompson. Oh no, the character is Kevin Thompson.
Yeah.
The guy's name is Michael Bailey something, which
You
I
will
couldn't.
not really
Michael
recognize
Bailey.
him. He's Michael Barely.
He was in Men in Black 2.
As creepy. I looked
I
it
don't
up, and I
know.
don't know who the fuck that is.
I know he was in Nightmare on Elm Street 5. He was Super Freddy.
I know he was in Renegade.
Was he?
Yeah. Like season 1, episode 8, maybe, give or take. Like, he's right in the middle. There's 24 episodes in a season.
We will be
Minute
seeing.
22.
Minutes. I'm quoting here. No, they're like, they are 43 minutes long. Man, it's the gift.
You
that
spent a
keeps
lot of
giving.
your time watching that show.
Damn right.
I can't talk shit. We're on season 3.5 of fucking Melrose Place.
Oh, no,
And
no.
that shit has 32 episodes a season.
Let me be clear. I might watch Renegade, and I think it's fucking excellent how awful it is. You can always talk shit about somebody watching Renegade.
Yeah.
We deserve it.
But we will be seeing this guy again for Superhero Spectacular.
Uh-huh.
Because he was in the 1990s Fantastic Four that was never released.
Oh, was he
The
the
Roger
Thing?
Corman one. He was Ben Grimm.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He is going to be a great Ben Grimm.
Yeah. And I got a.
You know we can't release that
Semi-
episode because the movie wasn't released either.
It's fine.
We got to bootleg
I
it.
got a semi-legal copy.
We'll just bootleg the fucking episode.
You have to download it, but secretly.
Shh, do it in the dark with the blanket on.
So we also have this guy Sonny, who is Polly's nephew.
nephew.
Apparently.
I think it's just a big nickname of like Uncle Polly.
Well, because
is-
later on in the movie, he says Uncle Polly in front of someone else, and he goes, "Oh, sorry, just Polly."
Yeah.
So I don't know, but
I think it's like how your Uncle Jack.
Yeah. That's what all the ladies call
that's what I call him,
Oh.
Daddy Jack.
Yeah.
That's
There-
I don't know
you have
about that one.
You have a customer that calls you Daddy Jack. He's Uncle D, and the other one is Uncle G. And
Do I?
you're Daddy Jack.
Why am I Daddy Jack?
I don't know.
I'm the only one.
Because you wake up during the daytime.
and
This
also
motherfucker was
don't
up
touch
at
my air
8 in the
conditioning.
morning the other day.
Not on purpose. Couldn't sleep.
So we have Sonny, who he fucked something up, and so they cut off his pinky. And it doesn't really matter. I just wanted to mention it because this joke progresses,
It's
and they
funny.
never
It does.
acknowledge it.
It silently progresses.
So you have to
and
just
it's
pay
the
attention,
best.
and it's great, which is the best joke. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, don't telegraph it to me.
And they're selling drugs, and one of the drugs is steroids, which I guess is a big thing. This is the second movie we've seen where people are selling steroids.
But this movie doesn't have a staunch stance against them, as we'll get to later. It's okay with
we
them.
do get one dick joke.
Yeah.
Not as many as Treat gave us last
Oh
month.
yeah,
but
no, his was all balls. This is the dick of the joke, and well, never mind, we're not there yet.
But I only want to talk about this one scene because we have this wrestler who's this guy, shaved head with a ponytail.
And at first, I thought it was the dude that plays Attila in The Quest.
No, yeah,
But
definitely
it's not.
him, yeah.
It's a guy that is dressed like Attila the Hun, and this is where I say mask because
Okay.
he's got the head shaved down with a razor, except for the long braided ponytail in the back, and he's the bodyguard in the mask.
And it's not like the base of the hairline. It's like in the center back of his
It's
head.
the worst
where it's
Jedi
shaved all
Padawan braid I've
around.
ever seen.
Well, yeah, it's a very
It reminds me of Mortal Kombat, the green guy with 4 arms and his weird ass
Goro,
ponytail.
he's not
yeah.
green. He's beige.
He
God.
was green on the TV.
Well, you had a bad TV. Somebody fucked with your
It
color.
could be my eyes.
It could be.
It just reminds me of the haircut, which is I'm sure is what he's going for. In a way, it reminds me of when you watch like Chinese martial arts movies
Sure.
that are like traditional, where they're showing the old school
Oh, yeah,
haircut.
Jet
very
Li
like
had that
like
haircut.
Once Upon a Time in China, stuff like that with
Uh-huh.
Jet Li, where it's got the whole head is shaved except for like a ponytail, but it's usually not at the base of the skull.
Yeah.
It's like the whole back of the head.
Yeah, it's like the crowning of the head.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
a very, very tight ponytail
I think it was a braid.
that yeah, but you can braid ponies.
I only mention this guy because the character he's playing is named Andrew Clay, and that's hilarious to me.
yeah.
So
No.
he-
Wasn't the actor's name Andrew
No,
Clay?
no,
No.
the actor's name is Nils Allen Stewart.
Oh, he
The
should have changed
character is
it.
Andrew Clay, which is
Gotcha.
hilarious. He basically is a wrestler who's doing these steroids, and he ODs. Well, it appears that he ODs at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
Fred Williamson implies later that basically he killed him because
Yeah.
we
We
find
find-
out that he was a snitch.
Yep. Yeah,
So.
because we get these feds coming in to fucking try and well, I don't think we're there yet.
No, that's where we are right now.
Yeah,
'cause
okay.
Dice walks into the police chief's office to get chewed out about the whole incident. And they're like, where the fuck is the dragon? And we get a great Andrew Dice Clay, very not racist joke where he's like, oh, he's sick. He's got the flu.
He's got the fru.
This guy saw Lethal Weapon
He's
4.
got the flu.
Yeah, I mean, this joke would have maybe flown better when it was the movie I thought it was in '88
Exactly.
and not '98.
Well, that's the thing with incredibly racist comments.
It's ages like fine wine.
Yeah, if you let it go too long, it turns to vinegar. We were
It
doing that
stinks.
shit until like 2012, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that's not. It's like we go, oh, because this movie's from the 80s. Oh, because this movie's from the 70s.
I feel like people in America did this thing where it's like, all right, guys, we've been giving black people too much shit. We haven't really fucked with the Asians enough, so let's do that.
Well, there was a whole point in time, and it was like in the 2000s, the early 2010s, when it was like the joke in a lot of movies was just like, oh, this guy's Asian. Like that was the joke. It's someone
Yeah.
speaking in an Asian voice that you can't understand, like usually in
I
Japanese
don't care who
or
you
something.
are. That shit's funny. Who? You hear that? You can barely fucking understand them.
Basically the FBI is in there and they're trying to hire Clay and Dragon to do this undercover thing.
Clay
more steroids.
Dragon.
With more
Clay
steroid
Dragon.
stuff. And fucking Andrew Dice Clay is like, oh, do I look like an asshole? And everybody in the room was just like, yes.
Yeah. Oh, he's riffing hard too, because like, hey, have a seat. Hey, I can't. I got hemorrhoids.
And one of the
then
guys says, we've got a red ball, which whatever that
They
means.
got a cream for that.
Yeah. He's just going for it. This is the
I don't
scene.
think he had a script.
No, I know. No, it did. It just said, be yourself.
Yeah.
Let your light shine.
This is the scene where I thought he was a pretty decent actor, though.
Uh-huh.
Aside from his bad jokes, he's giving like a good performance of like, no, like, the dragon's fine. Like, we'll be fine. We can do this. Like, whatever. But he's giving a decent performance. But again, he's in a room full of shitty people.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah, he's not bad in this movie. It's just that, and I think his shitty jokes actually work for us thinking, like, or letting us know what kind of cop and person you are.
Yes.
yeah. And when we find out later, spoiler alert, that he was semi-corrupt. He didn't take a bribe or anything, but he took some money from
He took a
crime scene.
retirement fund.
Yeah.
Because he went to, and we're only going to do it now because it doesn't mean anything,
No.
but it's, they arrested some guy that was fucking killing people, like a hitman, a really nasty guy. They arrest him, and the feds come in and give him witness protection, gets a new life, yada, yada. I got shot in the hand, and now I can't hold my hand out or I start shaking like a 90-year-old woman using a fucking powerhouse vibrator, rattling her teeth out. So he took like $250,000.
And that comes back later, too, because Dragon's like, how's your hand? And he's like, oh, the one I got shot in hurts. The other one's better than both my wives. He says both, by the way, at this point.
My wives.
He does.
He didn't sleep with the third one.
And so they send a department psychologist to evaluate the Dragon, who is passed out with a bottle of whiskey and a loaded pistol.
How do you paint?
So she's like, yeah, you can see my report in the morning. And this whole time, Dice is trying to defend him because he knows that he's not in a good state back there.
Yeah.
So he's trying to get her to not go in there. And he's like, oh, what? He's listening to classical music. It's great. What? He's fine. And then they walk in and see this. And he's like, that's healthy, right? And I'm like, what are you talking about?
He's trying.
If you've thought about recording a podcast before, but like myself, realized you need a lot of different tools and services, well, those days are over. With Zencastr's all-in-one podcasting platform, you can create your podcast all in one place and easily distribute to Spotify, Apple, and other major destinations. You can record studio-quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests and feel a sense of zen knowing that Zencastr's multi-layered backups ensure you always have your recordings in the highest quality, even if the connection is unstable. Go to Zencaster.com/pricing and use my code WORSEPeople. That's WORSEPEOPLE, and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencaster paid plan. I want you to have the same easy experience I do for all my podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. As you folks know, we like to have a beer or three while we podcast, and sometimes that leads to a not so pleasant morning after, unless we remember to hydrate, people. That's where Liquid IV comes in. Liquid IV is the #1 powdered hydration brand in America, and it's now available in sugar-free with a proprietary zero sugar solution that has no artificial sweeteners. I love using Liquid IV because it comes in convenient little packets you can take with you, makes me feel rejuvenated and hydrated, and best of all, it actually tastes good. Just one packet of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water hydrates you 2 times faster and more efficiently than just water alone, thanks to the 8 vitamins and nutrients it has, and it has 3 times the electrolytes of those other sports drinks. We love Liquid IV so much that we're offering you, our loyal listeners, a steal of a deal. Get 20% off when you grab your Liquid IV Hydration Multiplier, sugar-free, or any other variant at liquidiv.com and use the code WORSEPeople at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code WORSEPeople at liquidiv.com. So Dice and the Dragon have a conversation after the psychologist leaves, and this is when Dice is kind of saying, like, I'm tired of this shit. Like, we always get treated like shit. But he does have a good line. I'm tired of walking with a grenade in my pocket, waiting for someone to finger us and pull the pin.
What?
We were all just like, wait, what?
There's got to be a better way to say that.
And then doesn't Dragon come back with, but it happens all the time.
Yeah.
And then he's like, exactly.
Yeah,
I
he's
kind
like,
of
that's
found
the
this to
point.
be a switch where, like, normally it would be the Andrew Dice Clay guy, like, I'm fucking tired. I don't want to do this anymore. And,
Yeah.
or Dragon saying that, but like Dragon saying, I don't want to do this because I killed somebody, yada, yada. Dragon's the one saying, no, I have to redeem myself.
Exactly,
I need to do this.
Yeah.
And I thought it should have been the other way, or I was expecting it.
And then Dice shows up in the morning to close this plot line that didn't matter by blackmailing the psychologist, because he has like a note that talks about how, or some records or something, talking about how she took too many sleeping pills when she was 18 because she was depressed or something.
Life is like a box of chocolates.
Hey.
Fuck you.
Take the creamy one in the middle. Wait, what? So then that means they're allowed to do this case. So they go, oh, this is when we see him for the first time with that vest jacket. So it's like it looks like a leather vest, but it's got purple sleeves,
Shoulder pads.
shoulder pads. All of his jackets have shoulder pads.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's got the strap thing in the back where you can tighten like a vest. But they're leaving this like very posh hotel room. I don't know. It's either posh or really, really trashy. I can't tell.
It's dimly lit enough to be both.
Yeah.
Like, it's either or.
And he's like, they're going out to dinner, and he's like, "Why don't you tell me I look handsome?" Hey. Fucking the dragon's just like, "You look handsome."
Wow, I've never seen someone so captivating.
Ha 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 ha.
Blew my socks right off, you did.
So we're
Look at
back
him
at
go.
something.
we're back at the drug den here, which is like this nightclub, and it reminded me of Pulp Fiction.
Back to Tarantino.
Yeah, because it's this nightclub where the dragon does all of his meetings, but there's a bar in there where people are just like going up and ordering drinks. It's like this bar is open all day
All
for
the
your
stools are
criminals.
up.
Yeah,
Like you're not sitting around you're not sitting around
He
the hammer.
owns the place, obviously.
Right,
It's
but
how
why is
he
the bar
washes-
open?
It's how he launders his money.
well, Bruce Willis is back
And
there
he's
getting a
open
pack
for
of red
him.
apples.
Pack of red apples there. Hey, my name is Paul, and that's between y'all.
It's only for him. It's just, you gotta be.
Well, there was people at the bar.
It's all for
there
you,
was like
Hammer.
lobster
it's
dudes.
his people.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just weird. Like I guess it's a criminal thing. I've seen it in other movies too, but that's the first
you
thing I
gotta
think
make it
of. is
look
Pulp
legit.
Fiction.
You know
If
what?
cops stop by.
I guarantee you, if we owned a fucking bar, this podcast would be done at a bar, and we
Yeah.
would have a bartender on. Like that's what we would have. I got a lottery ticket in my pocket.
But so Kevin Thompson comes in and he's talking about this steroid stuff, and he's like, "Everyone's shooting it like bat juice. It's going crazy."
And we all like the whole room looked at each other. We're like, "What the fuck? Like, is bat juice something I don't know of?"
Exactly.
We all looked for
And
recognition
then
from
Fred's
somebody.
like, the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, the Hammer is like, "What the fuck is bat juice?"
From my brain to your lips, Hammer.
You know, that juice the Batman drinks to give him his superpowers.
Huh?
And he's like, and I love it because Fred Williamson is like reading comic books because he's like, "Batman didn't have superpowers, you fucking idiot. You're probably thinking of Popeye with spinach."
Yeah, often mistaken Popeye and Batman.
Yes.
Joke at the town. Skip it.
So the dragon is going undercover and he needs to get in with these people. So he goes to this like biker bar where Kevin Thompson is hanging out, having drinks.
Eating
It looks like he's
peanuts.
drinking water and eating peanuts, but later on he says beer.
Oh, that's
Ugh.
just a glass. It's a pint of vodka straight up.
low carb.
Yeah.
And he basically sets him up. He pays off this bartender to take a bottle of champagne to the bikers and give it to one of the girls and say, "Oh, this is from the guy at the bar who's Kevin Thompson." So then this Corey Feldman looking biker,
Dude, it's Corey Feldman. You can't convince me until I see the name. That's Corey Feldman.
so Corey Feldman goes up to this fucking jack dude and is like, "Oh, I don't like people giving my girlfriend shit, like giving my girlfriend drinks. I'll fuck you up, whatever." And I'm just like, you can see that this guy is three of you.
He's
right?
gonna snap you in half, Corey.
Easily.
Your angels ain't gonna save you this time.
So the whole thing is to start a fight so that the dragon can interfere and help Kevin and get in good with him.
Which it doesn't even work at first.
No.
You know, he like, helps him out, and he's like, "I didn't ask for your help," you know, and kind of fuck. I don't know why I went John Wayne. Moseys on outside where he does
I
actually
didn't ask for your help,
Well,
Pilgrim.
Pilgrim, I don't accept help from Asians. You know, I played one
I was
once.
gonna say I just play them on
This
fucking
sounds
John
like a con,
Wayne.
like Genghis Khan, Pilgrim.
John Wayne is Genghis Khan. What the fuck, man?
Anybody
was
that
a
doesn't
different
believe,
time, people.
anybody that doesn't like believe that whitewashing and Hollywood agenda shit, explain to me that.
So yeah, Kevin goes outside and gets jumped again, and the dragon interferes again, and we get one of my favorite parts of the whole movie. This dude drives up on his bike, and he tries to hit Kevin with a pipe, and Kevin jumps out of the way, or dragon, one of them.
Dragon, I think, yeah.
Jumps out of the way, and the bike falls over, and this other dude immediately jumps on it, and I thought he was like, "I'm getting out of
I
here.
thought
I'm
he was
taking my
That's what I
friend's
thought
bike."
too.
because that's what I would have done. Man, he just fucked up like 7 of us, and now I'm on my own. Going
But
home
no,
to tell the story.
He tries to ram the dragon, and the dragon jumps out of the way again. And this fucking guy crashes this bike into a barrel filled with
Barrels,
TNT,
Yeah.
barrels
apparently.
full of gasoline and sparks.
just filled with nitroglycerin, and this thing goes up like a fucking candle.
You know what? This bike, we didn't realize this bike was provided by Acme. Like,
Oh, that makes
this
sense.
is from Wile E. Coyote. His private collection, dude.
But the stunt is great because it's a dead-on shot of this dude on this bike.
You're not hiding
hitting
anything.
these barrels, flying away from fire. It's a human being with a giant explosion that goes over his waist.
We're only, what, like 20 minutes into this movie? Or maybe 25?
20,
Like,
25, yeah.
It is fantastic.
No
and it's-
dummy
For me,
works
it's
yet.
setting a tone. Besides the use of the word fuck,
Oh.
this is setting the tone early.
Have we we recommend if you do watch this, do not play the drink when you hear fuck.
Oh yeah.
You'll be fucking
At this
dead
point,
any fucking time Andrew fucking Dice Clay fucking speaks.
fuck Andrew Dice Clay. Anytime Jimmy Skaggs speaks, that
Oh,
first
true.
scene, you already got alcohol poisoning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is something I wanted when he was trying to. We'll get over that.
Yeah.
But
He's dead.
Thank God.
so Kevin takes the dragon to a gym because I guess that's how you thank someone for helping you.
Not in my fucking
I
life.
think he was getting him like
Well, he's like hooking him up with this girl who's gonna get him a trainer and all this stuff. But as he's walking away, I only have to mention it because he's like, "Hey, maybe later you can show me that move from last night," and
in
just
a
walks away.
super sexual kind of way. Like it was. And first of all, we didn't realize a whole night had passed.
Yeah, I'm like, this is 5 seconds later.
This is the same day.
Yeah. Also, last night that happened during the day. So
Because he even says, I have to go work off the corn nuts and beer.
yeah.
So you didn't sleep.
yeah, 100%.
And-
You know what? When they're
thanks to that
leaving the
move.
fight, he does say, "Let's go to another bar." So maybe that's what they did. They just went and got fucking hammered.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
We can't say hammered in this episode. That just sounds like Fred Williamson
He got
was fucking him.
dragoned.
Dude, we're gonna get fucking hammered. What does that mean? Well, my
What'd you
boss,
say?
see, his name is the Hammer. So Dragon, they're working out, and there's this giant dude. I guess
This
we
guy
don't
can't
really
put
need
his
to
fucking
cover
arms
it.
down.
Dude, this guy is fucking.
How does
just
he
made
wipe
out
his
of-
ass? It's
He
98.
has a
He's not
tool.
bidding. Oh. He's got like a clean toilet scrubber.
We don't really need to go into this. There's this girl named Marla who ends up being his personal trainer, but she's mad at him for kicking this dude in the face because she's like, "Violence is stupid."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, it seemed to help me this time." you
I
know?
did like that line. She's like, "Oh, that like violence ever solved anything?" He's like, "It seemed to solve this problem."
Yeah. And I mean, we won't talk about her storyline. It doesn't really matter. She's here for a scene at the end of the movie.
What we will
That's
talk
it.
about though, real quick, is this gym is a fucking meat market. I mean,
Yes,
we
it
are
is.
we are showing flesh, whether it be a chick with tight shorts and a nice little butt, or rocked up dude, or a combination.
And I don't know if this is a real exercise. I mean, two girls are doing it, but they have this like weightlifting machine that puts the weight on your back, and then you like arch your back to lift it. I'm like, is this just to train you either A, how to twerk, or B, how to do it doggy style?
If this is an exercise, I'm signing up. Back in the class.
I don't even know how she's doing it.
But so that whole thing happens, and then there's a wrestling match with Kevin who's got his face painted like an early Sting.
Yeah, not the crow from WCW Sting. We're talking like beach brat, blonde hair Sting. Same flat top and everything.
And this is when we noticed his Joker smile, which is why we're calling him Joker Cena.
The
Yeah.
face paint accentuates this.
Yeah,
It
the
was
face paint goes
amazing.
down to the corner of his lips almost, and when he
Uh-huh.
smiles, he looks like a fucking Joker. It's
Yes, he does.
terrifying.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he beats the shit out of this dude after doing a kick, and he's like, "That's that move you taught me, man! Yeah, woo!" And he's shooting up steroids in the locker room.
Which
And-
your wife, I think your wife called it first. She was like, "There was nothing in that needle."
Well, no, Derek asked, and he's like, is he just plunging air into his arm? I was like, well, there was no needle.
For people, yeah. Well, so it worked out there was no needle because for people that don't know, if you inject oxygen into yourself,
If you
you're,
put it
like,
in your veins, you'll kill yourself.
you're dead.
Yeah,
You're
air
dead.
in heart equal bad.
Thank you, Dr. Derek.
It's kind of like if you
No,
had
it's Dr. Durka
Dr. Durka and, the
Dr.
Ginger
Man.
I never got my doctor's license.
he's just a baker. He's gingerbread man.
Did we tell you that's what Sasha's calling you guys now?
No,
Durka and the Ginger Man?
It's our spin-off podcast.
There's your fucking Star Wars shit.
that's when we get the soundboard and stuff.
That's
right?
our morning
and it's
show.
Like, welcome to Durka and the Ginger Man. Honk honk. Bark bark bark. Why are dogs barking? Chugga, 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 chugga. That's a helicopter.
Candy
It's time-
is looking at us like we're fucking insane.
We are.
It's time to go to Whitney for the weather. Brrr. That's a helicopter, not a
you
machine
got
gun.
some traffic going on eastbound on
Oh yeah, the traffic, not the weather. Sorry.
It's really cold up here. I don't know why you're having me check the weather. It's fucking freezing up here in the clouds. How's it down there? Oh.
Actually, it's really hot, guys. Sorry.
He does tell. This is when the dragon's
Not up
like,
there.
"I hear steroids make your dick fall off," and this dude loses his fucking mind.
Super
tears off his onesie, and he's just like, "You want to fucking see it, bro?"
And you know what? Yeah.
Yes,
I did
I
want to
do.
see it.
I want to see it.
We've
Let me
already
see it.
seen boobs at this point, by
We've
the
seen
way.
how many? We've seen what, like 10 sets?
I mean, there's
Yeah, At this point, I think it's only like 3. We see
There-
more later.
It was
We saw the
3
same girl
boobs.
twice.
Well, with the dead guy.
The
The
dead guy
dead guy
pairs
nerps
right
had
there.
two sets of nerps. But it doesn't matter. Either way, like, why are we showing so many nerps when we're afraid to show a little dick? Ladies watch movies too.
Yeah.
Dudes that like dicks watch movies
Preach
too.
it, babe. Preach it, girl. Preach it.
Get you one of that.
Dudes that like
it's
dicks
all
are
fun.
probably watching this movie a lot because
It's a hard body meat market.
Yeah.
Made me a little questionable.
So the dragon makes the deal basically to sell some steroids. And the FBI guy is telling him he has to wear a wire, and he's just like, I'm not wearing a fucking wire. And
Where's
he goes,
the bullseye on this?
Yeah, where's the fucking bullseye?
And Dice
on
Clay's
this
backing
with
him up. He's like, fucking mission over.
Yeah, exactly. Because
This is like my fucking first marriage. It's done.
and we get another Tarantino thing here. So he's meeting up with Kevin to get the drugs, and it's an out of the trunk shot. Not shot as well as Tarantino would do
But again,
it.
a good shot for what we're watching.
This
Yes, it
one
is.
looks like they just folded down the backseat of a car, though, and put the camera through it.
That's
Because it's at a
exactly
weird
what it
angle.
looked like.
Versus like the Tarantino ones where he's probably just using a trunk that he's got the camera underneath, you know? It's not
Uh-huh.
a real car. Like
Oh, that makes
that's
sense.
what I would assume he's doing in
Look at
those.
Tarantino
it's-
being all fucking smart and shit. Quentin, if you listen to this, please hit us up at
Oh,
Bad
he's an
Movies for
avid
People.
listener. We
Yeah.
talk about feet.
I love him.
He's listening. He's got
I
a
want to
keyword
drink
search
with him.
going, dude. I'll drink off Salma Hayek's
that's
foot
the
with him.
podcast for Durka the Ginger Man. It's called Flicks and Feet.
Ooh.
And we just talk about movies
but
with
you
foot
don't
stuff.
like feet.
Yeah, but he loves
But he
movies.
does.
Foots and feet are
Foots and feet.
flicks and
feet.
feet.
This has gone awry.
Yeah, it has. All right, back
We
to
have this series of really stupid back and forth. Like this movie could be shorter. It's 101 minutes, or 104, something like that.
We could trim
It
this.
could be shorter because they go. So it's the dragon and his girlfriend, not yet, at this bodybuilding contest, which I only want to mention because these poor female bodybuilders have to go out there in heels.
Blonde number one has never worn high heels in her life,
And they
judging
gave
by
her
her
the
walk.
Yeah.
chonkiest ones.
And like,
with
I'm
the
not
most
trying to make fun of her, but it's just like, Jesus Christ, man, don't have her in heels.
That's what it would look like if I was wearing heels.
I think
Like,
I
barely-
I think I could walk better than this in heels.
I think you could.
It's
like,
like she's wearing like completely bald shoes and trying to walk on ice.
It's close to a baby giraffe trying to roller skate.
yeah,
Like, it's not far off from that.
with the stick in the butt.
Well, that's how you stay up.
I don't want to fall backward.
Jeez.
It's like a kickstand.
Hey, put a hockey stick up my ass so I don't fall down.
They have this bodybuilding contest, right? And then
These dudes are just enormous.
This
Like,
one with
it
the
goes-
gross veins.
it's unsexy for me.
oh, it's
Good for you if this
repulsive.
gets you off.
yeah,
Have I got a movie for you?
I think he was a retired athlete or slash bodybuilder because those are varicose veins all over his body.
Yeah.
these
in the
people were all
credits.
credited as bodybuilding champions and stuff
Or
like that. There was a couple guys
ex-NFL.
that were NFL people.
Yeah, what we had somebody from the Cardinals.
A linebacker from the Cardinals, whose name I didn't recognize, a running back from the Raiders at the time, Oakland, and somebody from the Niners that I couldn't give a shit about.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah, well, they're all
Sorry, Hector.
they're all nobody players. I'm sure that's
Yeah.
why they were in this movie.
Yeah. Also, 98 playing for the Cardinals. Get a life.
But it cuts from it's like the bodybuilding contest to a meeting at the drug place, back to the bodybuilding contest, back to a meeting at the drug place, and it's like just do all the meeting stuff, do all the bodybuilding stuff, do the drug stuff quicker.
You could have cut out the bodybuilding stuff altogether because
yeah, it's
the
not-
only time we're there, later we go back
It's so
to it.
for him to talk to her.
Well, but
Yeah.
he starts accusing her. He's like, I don't know. It's hard to get that big off of protein shakes and skinless chicken breasts, you know?
Yeah.
Like trying to give her a heads up, like people are juicing, but it doesn't come to anything.
So yeah,
Cut
she's
it.
apparently oblivious.
Leave it on the floor.
To it.
Well, when I took people know I went to school to try to make movies, but I failed. That's why I talk shit about other people.
Yeah.
If you
I've
can't,
never
if
made
you
one, so
can't-
I'm going to talk shit.
if you can't do, talk shit.
That's the saying. Yes.
But I had a screenwriting class, loved the class, but I was writing a script that I thought was pretty cool. And my teacher was like, no, you have to have a love story in there somewhere. There has to be a love interest. There has to be something. And I was like, no,
John
that's
Wick
not part
says
of the story.
otherwise, dude.
Exactly. I was like, that's not part of the story. He's like, this is a class. That's how it works. You have to do this. So I ended up abandoning it and just writing an adaptation of The Sandman. The TV show was better.
Yeah, but you wrote yours 20 years before.
Yeah, actually, mine wasn't that bad because it was adapting Neil Gaiman's story, and it
Yeah.
was way too long because
love to
I was
read
like,
it.
can't cut anything out. It was like 220 pages, which is like a 220-minute movie.
I just would have copied verbatim Sandman.
Kind of.
He's got the script if you want to read it.
I do want to read
That's
it.
one of the only ones I kept because I thought it was decent. But my teacher kept telling me you have to have a love story, and I think that's what these scenes are for. It's to build this love story, which again only comes to one thing.
Yeah.
Which is the thing that sends the dragon over the edge.
Hey, I'll
So-
tell you what, dude. If we ever get a Patreon, we will do a fucking reading of that script
Yes.
for sure.
Come on, give us
I'll
all
do-
the likes.
I'll do voices, man.
And it was funny because the Sandman, the comic, involves a lot of DC characters, but in like not their normal kind of roles. And I was like, well, obviously I can't write this with that because it has to be like the version that's not a licensed thing. So I was like replacing characters, but I was just like, oh, instead of this guy, I just made up a fake ass name. But that's kind of what they do on
Instead
their
of Batman, it was Scatman.
That's kind of what they do. 'Cause didn't they have? Was it in?
Joker's here?
Was it in Sandman when they have the female John Constantine, or was that in one of the other things?
She wasn't.
It was that girl from Doctor Who, and she plays like Joanne Constance.
Yes.
It's Sandman.
Is it
Yes, it's
Sandman?
Sandman.
So that's what I had to do, and I was like, oh, okay, it's not John Constantine, it's so and so, and I just made up a different name, but it's still literally just John Constantine.
Yeah.
But either way, so we get this cut back and forth thing, but there is in there
Cut
a meeting.
it out.
There's in there a meeting with the FBI agents. They find out that the drugs that the dragon got were actually just peanut oil. They were like
Yep.
they were faking them out, setting them up. And I love it. It doesn't come to anything because they don't use it. But the dragon's like, I have an idea. Do you still have that Ford? And then you get fucking dice like Fairlane.
Ford Fairlane. It does come
Oh,
to
it does
something.
come to something because he takes the car and slams into.
I thought it was the same car they were driving. at
No,
that-
No,
it was the Ford for sure.
Oh,
He
okay.
takes that green Ford and slams it. So I'll just go through what he does now because it's kind of fucking badass. If
Yeah.
you're trying to portray being a gangster that just got ripped off, the dragon's doing it. Takes the car, rams it, which knocks out fucking Joker Cena.
Yeah.
And then he jumps out of the car and starts beating the fuck out of the help. Boom, they're all done.
Starts pouring gas.
Grabs
over the car?
a fucking cherry bomb gas can and just starts laying it all over. And Kevin's waking up, groggy. What are you doing? What are you, dude? And he just has the lighter. He's like, "Oh, my fucking money back." Thinking of Better Off Dead. I want my $2. I want my $50,000
So he gets taken to meet the Hammer now because Kevin's like, "Hey, yeah, sorry, man, I got you. I don't want to be lit on fire."
Thought you were a punk.
And he takes him to meet the Hammer, and the Hammer has this thing with shoes, which
Who
doesn't
doesn't?
really come to anything except for he's got a really weird story about it.
Yeah.
But when the dragon comes in, it's just such a dumb line and delivered so poorly, but it's still, I was just like, eh. So Fred Williamson's thing is he goes, "Hey, those are nice shoes. Are they comfortable?"
They're trying to create a catch line for him.
Yeah.
And it's for no good reason. I'll tell you, once again, you can leave it on the floor.
Well, this
Nice
is
shoes, you're dead.
this is an
Yeah.
amateur screenwriter thing. They're like, "Well, we got to give him like a hook, right?"
Somebody watched the Tim Burton Batman with "Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?" And like, ooh, I could write that. Hey, are those nice shoes? They look comfortable.
And the dragon's line though, they're not to the guy whose ass I'm kicking with them or something like that. And
Yeah.
it's like that was you got there. It took you a long time to get there, man.
Yeah. So the person whose ass is belonging to the guy I'm kicking, comfortable, they are not, sir.
So when we have the second or third cut back to the drug warehouse, the dragon's tied up, and Fred Williamson comes in this purple like suit, like he's got like these very
Ooh.
comfortable looking like loose fitting pants.
He's almost in pajamas and a house coat.
It's gorgeous.
It's like professional pajamas.
We're talking the purple that Eddie Murphy's leather purple outfit.
Oh, I think it's even a little more
and
lavender
it's
than that. but-
Beautiful.
Yeah.
When they first comes in and they show his shoes and the pants and you can see the jacket, I was like, oh, he's the Joker now.
He's I was
This
thinking,
movie
like,
is
he's
Batman.
I guess Joker's, yeah, he's Batman. I guess yours is better because I was going to say he's like a Sunday morning cartoon villain. But yeah, he's the fucking Joker. And you know what? Let a black man play the Joker.
Well, and it's like,
Please?
Come
yeah,
on.
why
on,
not?
guy.
He's got his faces painted. Well,
Fuck
they
yeah.
can't because
Oh.
if they paint his face white now, it'll be
Hey,
a whole thing.
you know what? Do whiteface all you want. We have it coming.
He did.
So it's like, it's like a combination of a robe, a trench coat, and a kimono. I'm not sure what's going on, but
Yeah.
it's pretty sweet on him. I couldn't wear it.
Oh, yes, you could.
I look like a fucking homeless person.
No, a well-dressed homeless person, Derek.
So Sonny gets shot in this like back and forth somehow because they have this guy Kiko who's not selling his drugs fast enough or whatever. And Kiko and the dragon end up tied up. And then Hammer gets a call from this guy. They were trying to get information on the dragon. So you're like, oh shit, did
A
he
little
get
background
revealed or
check.
whatever?
They set it up well because now the phone call comes in. He's like, yeah, I got the information. Hangs it. He's like, did you get the information on Farah? hangs up, and he's just staring down.
He
the
gets
dragon.
this crowbar that looks like a cane. Also, it's fucking dope.
Staring him down, and like, oh shit, our dragon's gonna have to break cover right now and defend himself.
Yeah, but he ends up beating
Kiko.
the shit out of Kiko's legs, and then he hits him in the legs, and then in the next shot, his hat's gone and his face is all bloody.
Oh, this is where Sonny fucks up, because at one point, sorry, I'm going back a little bit.
Yeah.
We see that Sonny now has 2 pinkies
yes,
cut off.
yeah, that's where the joke
And
continues.
later,
Yes.
we're going to see him with his earlobe missing. And here's why. Because before Kiko gets caught, he grabs Sonny and puts a gun to his head, and then, the thing happens. They disarm him. Oh, because he fucking Hammer shoots Sonny.
Sonny.
He says, hey, what'd I tell you? He's like, don't stand so close to the mark. So that's how he got his earlobe cut, I'm
That's
guessing.
what that thing at the end
Okay.
has. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I missed the shuffle around there.
Uh-huh.
There's the thing at the end with Sonny. So, okay.
I mean, this movie, like, just kind of a spoiler about it, it's not great except for the action scenes and the fighting.
No, it's fun, but it's not a good movie.
Yeah, so
That's why it's
like
here.
forgive us for not following a movie that made almost no sense.
So they end up choking Kiko out with a grocery bag like it's Manhunt.
Cool death.
Yeah, which that video game, I loved that game. That was my favorite way to kill people.
Uh-huh.
Sneak up behind him, grocery bag, dead.
Says something about you.
Yeah, well.
Not going shopping with you.
And this is when Fred Williamson tells his story about his foot, why he's obsessed with shoes. A pony stepped on his foot when he was
Turned
a
his
kid.
foot into applesauce.
Yes, turned his foot into applesauce, and then he has to have special shoes made by Rocco Manfredi or some shit.
What, like, is that a name I should know?
I don't know.
Or is it a character you're going to introduce? No, leave it on the floor.
I mean, at the end of the movie, he pulls a full-size pistol out of his shoes. So I'm like, maybe that's what his special shoes are for.
It's a guy, the guy works for the Continental and John Wick. I'm making a nice little shoe. It's got a 45 around the sole,
You need a bulletproof suit? No.
You need to pop a cap in someone's ass from your foot?
So there's a scene with Marla that's like a bad emotional moment where they're at her house and
Every scene with these two is a bad emotional moment,
but
man.
she's wearing lingerie and he's wearing a suit and I'm not really sure what's happening. I only want to mention it because of the bad editing. The shot of the house is broad daylight.
Birds are
They're
chirping.
inside and
Sun
there's
is
daylight
shining.
coming in through the windows. It's dark, but because the curtains are closed, but there's daylight.
Yeah.
They start kissing because he's all horned up after watching a dude get choked out with a bag.
Aren't you?
I just talked about Manhunt.
I was going to say, you didn't get horned up after playing Manhunter?
I mean,
was
Babe, I just
it was
killed like 9
Manhunt.
guys.
It was just Manhunt.
Well, you were the Manhunter.
I'm the
And
manhuntee.
Then they wake up again, and there's another shot of the outside of the house, the exact same shot of the outside of the house during the day. And it's like, so they fucked all day and night? Is that what we're implying?
We only have one shot. We need something to keep him in there for a while. How about fucking?
So Fred Williamson gets to meet Dice now because Dragon's like, I got to bring my partner in. And they all go to this nightclub together.
He's checking her out, though, like when she walks up. And I did like it because he's like, I hate this guy now because I'm fucking jealous of this guy.
Oh, that's later on.
Oh,
That's when he meets
okay.
Marla because this is when they're at the
I
nightclub.
thought that's what I thought.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
meant
no,
when you
it's
meant
kind
Marla.
of-
Gotcha.
it's confusing.
Well, I spoiled the whole fucking thing.
Yeah,
Now this
he
movie
ruined
is
it.
trash.
Yep. Podcast over.
Jack's out of here. Jack's off
Cue
the
the
podcast.
music. Jack off the podcast.
Jack off the podcast.
He knew
Got
what he
it.
did. He knew what he did there.
So they're at this nightclub that
What?
it looks like the nightclub whose name I can't remember from Mulholland Drive, where the girl is singing but not really singing,
Uh-huh.
where everything starts to fall apart. It looks exactly like that nightclub. But they're having this conversation about why is porn legal and prostitution isn't, which I'm pretty sure everybody's had this conversation at some point when you were drunk.
Oh, yeah.
But Sonny does have a good
Fat
point.
and
He's like,
sober.
porn is a product, prostitution is a service, and it's easier to tax a product. And I was like,
How did you get so fucking smart?
yeah.
What somebody had a response to that too. No, he
Well,
just
that was
reads.
Kevin.
It was Dice.
Oh, yeah.
He just reads a lot of dirty books. I don't think you learned that in dirty books.
No.
Andrew.
And this is where we get the boom mic shadow on
Yes,
the
it
wall
is.
because the lighting was not set up
Yeah,
correctly.
it's in the bottom right of your screen. I mean, it's pretty easy to see.
And these guys
You can
from
see him trying to back out of it too.
Just stay there.
these people, presumably from Kiko's gang or whatever.
The guy with the double barrel shotgun was in Kiko. He drove
He was
Kiko.
in the car.
Oh, that's right. He
And
was in
then
the
drove
bulletproof
away
car.
in the bulletproof car.
And this girl, what does she have on her pistol?
So first of all, I'm so sad she's dead. She could have been the love of my life. This fucking giant bangs, hoop earrings, flannel wearing chola. I want her. She's got a normal handgun. Maybe like a fucking Beretta.
I mean,
maybe
it's got a big
Sig,
barrel. It's
and
not
it
a
has
normal.
an extended clip with a fucking drum on the bottom of it, so she can shoot like 50 bullets.
Yeah, this thing is bigger than a tuna can. It's
you can make this in
huge.
Fallout games or Bethesda
That's
games.
what I was
like,
gonna say. Fallout 4, when you have the guns where you're just duct taping shit
Yeah,
together.
that's what they're doing.
It's like a Dinty Moore can.
she's spec'd into crafting skill. Nice.
But these guys come in and they start shooting up the club with the huge pistol and some shotguns. And the dragon saves the hammer, so he gets in on the gang even further now.
Yeah.
And they do kill these fucking dudes.
And chick.
And we go back to the hammer's house, which has this insane, like, Garden of Eden backyard going on. There's hot tub, everything is green.
It's the
There's
greenest-
fucking
Flamingos?
peacocks and flamingos.
So I thought it was a fake flamingo, and I asked, I said, is that a fake flamingo? And
And
both
then
of you
we-
were like, yeah. Until one just like must have heard me, picked its head up. It's like, I ain't fake,
Starts
motherfucker.
And
walking in.
walks.
Then they get a beautiful shot because this
Oh.
peacock just unfurls and just does its thing. It looked beautiful.
Beautiful.
That's how I know how to spell that word.
Me too. Every time I do it in
All
my
right, hold
head.
on. BEA beautiful.
So the dragon confronts Dice about taking the money, and he admits to it. That doesn't really matter either, except for the joke in the end of the last scene.
Yeah.
I mean, he even does. I think he donates all of it. Okay, so he does say, I put half of it in a safety deposit box for you.
Yeah.
It'll never come back to you, yada, yada. And then a little bit later, I'm fast forwarding where he gives him a check for.
No, he gives him
the-
like a receipt or something.
That he donated to charity.
That
to
he
But
the,
my
donated.
question is, did he donate all of it or just dragon
Dragon
share?
Just
Well,
dragon share.
he's
You know
already
the old
spent
saying,
his.
the dragon share.
he's already spent his. That's where he got that fucking jacket.
Yeah, because even
Mine
he's
is
like,
gone.
where'd
You're
all these
fucking
clothes
looking
come
at it. Do you think these shoulder pads are cheap?
So Kevin tells the hammer that these guys sold all the drugs and they want
the hammer. Go
they
on.
want $2 million this time. And then we're immediately cutting back to Dragon and Clay, and Dragon's already over the indiscretion. This is when he gives him the check. But he's like, it's no big deal, man, whatever.
Yeah.
So again, no, like,
We're for-
it's like tension. Just kidding.
Yeah, no tension.
It's fine.
So they ask for more wiretaps. They tell him they can't get them until tomorrow, and they're like, "But you need to continue this case." And the dragon's like, "What case?" And
Boom.
walks off. And then fucking Clay, fucking jerk offs.
You fucking jerk off.
And then Pope is just like, I'm with them, man.
He kind of has been wishy-washy the whole time. Like, you know, the bigger guys like Bilbo. He's like, we can't do this. He's like, oh, maybe we can.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
think
gonna
we
commit a
can.
felony for you.
I like these guys. Me and Dice, we're like best friends. Yay.
We shared a line in the bathroom. That's a bond.
So Fred Williamson's like girlfriend liaison here, whatever.
Sorry,
he's been
I
hooking
just
up
had an
with.
image of Pope and Andrew Dice Clay, Lady and the Tramping, a line together. Like, you
Well, I
start
mean-
at opposite ends and just sniff towards each other's
The
nose.
guy that plays Pope has played Elvis 3 times, so he's definitely done cocaine.
You are not sober if that is your fucking lifestyle.
But the girlfriend who works with Marla blows the whistle on their like undercover thing
Yeah,
by
she does.
accident. Because she's like, oh, Marla mentioned that Dragon said he's not doing anything
I was
illegal, and he'll
trying
tell
to
her
warn
tomorrow.
her.
He'll prove it
He'll
tomorrow
prove
night.
it tomorrow, which is when they're supposed to do the $2 million thing. So now they know that he's
But
undercover.
so now the hammer goes goes off his balcony and it's like, Kevin, there's something slippery about that dragon. You know, he's like, Kevin goes, I knew it. Looks off into the distance for a little bit. Goes, he's a cop.
Yeah,
Like, it was just like Batman himself.
And I think slippery is exactly how Kevin described him earlier in the movie. There's something slippery about this guy. And like, yeah, okay.
yeah. Is that like an Asian remark?
This it's from all that oil that they're frying the chicken
What's
in
that
and shit.
dick stuff? Gin,
Oh, yeah.
ginseng.
That dick juice.
That's
me that
way
dick
early in the
juice.
movie. We get Andrew Dice
dick
Clay.
juice, bat juice. We got
Give
all
me,
the
that, give me that
juices.
dick juice, that gin something. Ginseng, sure. Drink enough gin, my dick will sing.
So this scene is the whole reason that Marla's in this movie.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So the dragon and Dice are going to go off and do their thing, and she's like, "Oh, give me the keys to your car. I'll go get coffee." I think is what she
Yeah,
says.
because I didn't
Okay,
realize
I
you were
love
such a
you.
caffeine freak.
Yeah, I love you. Everything's great. And this is when the Dice is
You
like,
two
"Oh, I'm
both
jealous."
fucking called it right now. Too,
Oh, yeah.
By the way.
Oh, the
Dude,
Apollonia.
they started walking out. He's like, "Here's my keys," and I literally just said, "Apollonia, no!"
No, she gets godfathered right here.
Yeah,
dude.
she gets in the car, gets lit up. It's stupid as fuck though, because the car explodes, which is great. But in the middle of it, there's like a fade in of her
superimposed.
eyes in the rear view
Yeah,
mirror.
and it's just frozen there in the explosion.
Big explosion though, very
Yeah.
fun.
Hey, once again,
Bada boom. Bigga boom.
big
we
bada
like big
boom.
bada booms.
So that sends Dragon over the edge. So they go and they gear up with the
Dragon's
feds.
on the edge.
The feds are in 100% now. They all gear up. They give fucking Dragon this assault shotgun.
Okay, real quick. You know I love me a fucking weapons cache, especially
Yes.
a hidden one.
Ooh,
This guy has like a secret compartment in his van all locked
not very
up.
secret.
Well, and then also cool weapons. You just got them laid in there all haphazardly, like
Yeah,
on top
it's
of
the
each
They
other.
side-
fell when
A
they
little
turned.
organization, some brackets, Whitney. Like, please.
Yeah, it's the side. It's the side. He takes out the side panels of the van, and they're just behind the side panels. It's
Uh-huh.
like,
It's not secret. You're right, and also sloppy work.
yeah,
sir.
this looks like the secret.
Babish, is that his name?
Yeah, there you
It's
go.
been bugging me the whole fucking episode.
Babish Bilbo.
Babish Bilbo Baggins. Bitches.
with the bad package.
But this is the way you would see weapons hidden if it was like some gangsters or some thugs or something that were like, oh, we got our weapons, and they pull the side panel out, and it's just
Uh-huh.
guns in a stack.
This is the FBI.
Yeah.
Have a fucking bracket.
So they weapon up, and the Dragon's like, I'm going to go separately. You guys go to the Hammer's house. Kevin's mine. And they're like, you can't do it alone. This one I can.
This one I can. Yeah.
So he goes and has this shootout. The Dice and the feds go to Williamson's house, and no one's there.
It's awful gun work and room work from Andrew Dice Clay.
Dice is just holding his two guns on top
and
of each other the
spinning
whole
in
time.
360 so fast you didn't have time to gauge this room. Probably dizzy now.
He goes running up the stairs and trips and falls back down.
Do you see anybody? I see a lot of fucking everybody's. I see birdies and stars.
Whoa, how do you make his whole house spin? Oh! When I drinking some of that gin juice?
Jane, get me off this crazy thing called love.
So the Dragon goes to this junkyard and has a shootout with Kevin.
Dragon in the Junkyard, my favorite kids book.
And he literally uses his shotgun to shoot a shotgun out of Kevin's hand.
Like,
It's
how
so
does-
fucking fun. This is awesome.
And then they have like a Kia fight afterwards because
Uh-huh.
he shoots the gun out of his hand.
Making porn noises.
Yeah, just
Here's that trick I showed you last night. Oh, fuck.
And then he finds out where Fred Williamson is. So then Dice and the Dragon go to this warehouse, and they're going to assault it.
If there's a sequel, Kevin's still alive. Because
Yeah.
he beats him up, puts a gun to his head, and tells me, like, asks him where to tell him where Hammer is. Wow, we got a sequel set
Yeah.
up here.
Yeah, we do.
Well, he was the guy that plays Kevin was in those Two Hills Have Eyes, the two newer ones.
Uh-huh.
So maybe we just make it a horror movie
Uh-huh.
where Kevin is stalking Don the Dragon Wilson and Andrew Dice Clay.
Combine it with Dead Heat, where I want Andrew Dice Clay to go the Roger Mortis route.
Ooh.
Andrew Dice Clay as a zombie.
Things are falling off of me, but not that piece. Boom.
I don't have to pay alimony anymore.
Don't worry, my dick still has rigor mortis. Hey,
I don't have to wear a condom. Can't get an STD if you're already dead.
Hey.
so they go to the warehouse and they have a shootout. This is when the gun
Well
sounds
played.
are all over the fucking place.
Oh my
Again,
god,
This
is
warehouse is full of empty boxes, and like those, it looks like those water barrels you see in the back of like contractor trucks,
Uh-huh.
where it's like the big water thing with like the metal frame around it.
Yep.
Dice comes in at some point down this like slide, and he's just shooting people going down like a.
Why is there a spiral slide?
It's
in
like
here?
a cement slider. So you throw load down it. You know.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think it's like 'cause
Hey.
it's like a warehouse. So I think it's like slide the boxes.
Oh, and
down.
that trap door, and he like breaks through it, and that's why
I
he's
don't
stuck
think it was
hanging
supposed
there.
to be a trap door. I think it was supposed to be weak floor. But
Yeah,
it just
'cause it's
it
like
was
an old- I don't
very
know.
clearly somebody cut this away instead
Yeah.
of what
Yeah.
they wanted it to look
So he
like.
spends the rest of the fight hanging, and I'm like, just drop down the 10 feet to the next floor.
because you're not doing anything here.
Yeah. Everybody's shooting, and hardly anybody dies. I mean, a lot of bad guys die, but there's a bunch of them left. But as soon as
I'm shooting
the
this
hammer,
hanging cop.
Yeah.
well, as soon as the hammer and the dragon, the Sonny wants to, but his gun runs out.
Yeah.
So as soon as the hammer and the dragon
Well-
start fighting, all the other bad guys, literally, they show shots of them just being like, "Oh, no more shooting."
Yeah.
You just walk
Oh,
away.
just wait here. Movie's almost over.
But the hammer fucking Rambo's dragon right here, right?
Yeah, he does.
Like the
He's
dragon's
all sneaky,
standing there,
sneaky.
and the hammer just fucking pops up behind him like a fucking like Rambo
Why?
in at least three of those movies.
Why is this the only fight scene with the hammer?
Because he's old.
Because he's old.
don't
But
fucking
he
care.
did do all of his own stunts in this scene.
Yes,
they,
he
they
does.
see it.
I was watching some interviews on the Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray.
Oh.
And
Sponsored by.
and there was an interview with the dragon who he was saying they had a stuntman and they brought him in, and Fred Williamson was like, "Send that motherfucker home. I'm doing this myself."
Fuck yeah.
And it's
This dude's
not
still alive?
bad. Yeah.
fuck
Yay.
yeah again.
He was in a movie in like 2018 and then like 2022 or something.
Okay, I was like, that was still 5 years
Yeah,
ago.
but so is Paul Walker. In some
The
regard.
movie he was in a movie in 2018 called VFW that is like an intentionally bad movie. I haven't seen it, but it's basically like a bunch of dudes at a VFW who like have to fight somebody, and it's like an intentionally cheesy.
It might be worth checking out if it's got him in it.
It's got a bunch of people in it. I think Rutger Hauer might be in it.
Oh,
unless that's he's in Hobo with a Shotgun, but I think he's also in VFW. Doesn't matter. So we get them fighting, and it's a pretty good fight. The dragons or the hammer's taking his falls because I kind of expected him to be like, "Oh, I fell over, but I'm old," so I just
bad edit or something.
No, yeah, he just drops when he gets hit. It's pretty good.
He gave it all.
And at the end of it, Polly's like,
Sonny.
The Hammer.
Oh,
Hammer is Paulie. I don't know why I suddenly used his character name. The Hammer tells Sonny, like, hey, throw me that gun. And you see Sonny pull the clip out of the gun and throw it to him. And he goes to shoot the dragon and it doesn't work. And he's like, you never make the same mistake twice, right? Like, he's getting
and
back
when he's
at
holding
him.
his clip up, it's so tiny.
Looks
it
like a pen.
Like a vape pen.
Yeah.
Like weed pens that look bigger than this.
And the Hammer fucking tackles Sonny. The Hammer tackles Sonny and they fall down this elevator chute, which I'm like, well, yeah. There's like a piece of rotten wood behind him that's not going to hold you guys up.
Andrew Dice Clay's taking out fucking flooring. You're going to take out that rotten wood.
And it appears that they're both dead. But when they go down there, they find out that the Hammer is still alive. But
this one's very much alive, is what he says.
Yeah.
Well, because he had Sonny to land on.
And they find a bag full of money.
Fell on something squishy.
I didn't take his finger this time. I took his life. So the Dice wants to take this bag full of money. It's like $1 million. And
this is retiring
He's
Bermuda
like,
kind
this
of
is
case.
shaky hand with a martini.
Yeah.
When my hand shakes, I just drink a martini. Hey.
I do like that. I mean, that's a joke that works for this character in this movie.
And of course, the dragon's like, nope, can't do that. And as they're like talking about the money, the Hammer starts to get up, and this is when he pulls a full fucking like 9mm out of his shoe.
Like you would normally pull like a 22 or maybe a 25 or a 380.
What's the little woman gun?
The 380. Like that's
the one that
or a Derringer.
A
A Derringer.
Oh,
like,
I thought you were talking about the one that
Morgan Fairchild has.
was
That's
using,
that is the number one most concealed weapon on the fucking planet.
Yeah.
Not this fucking shoe magnum. I mean, this is a dirty Harry
wonder
gun
your
that he
feet
pulls
hurt.
out of his applesauce foot.
That's why he can fit it in there.
That should have been his line. He should have told that story and be like, applesauce, bitch, and then shot people. Like, that's the line.
See, there you go. You punch lines up, babe.
Hey, I punch up lines too. I just use my fucking nose.
Oh,
Why do you think I was missing from half this movie?
When they called cut, I thought they meant the line.
The cocaine budget ran out and I left. Hey,
Coke's gone, I'm gone.
they said $1 million of the $2 million budget for cocaine. They only had Dice for 2 days. Just do the math. The Hammer pulls the gun and tries to shoot, and Dice pushes the dragon out of the way because he mentions earlier that
Someone tried to swipe his chest, and now he's got an 8-inch scar across. The dragon has an 8-inch scar across his chest because it was supposed to go on the Dice Man's chest. Brother,
Dice Man gets shot this time, and he got shot earlier and had a vest on. This time he doesn't. I guess that's supposed to be a thing.
No, I think he still does.
he still did.
Either way,
he was like holding his side like he was.
Because it still hurts.
But there is, yeah. You always ask me if I'm okay when I get shot. No, I'm not okay. It fucking hurts. And it would, even with the vest on, it fucking hurts.
It
That's
does.
kinetic damage,
Like,
yada,
yeah.
yada.
Yeah, but
whether he's got a vest or not, he reacts like,
me.
yeah, he fucking takes out.
My nipples itchy.
He lights this dude up.
Yeah, he does.
This is the death I kind of wanted from fucking Chester the Molester earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
Mr.
old
Scabs.
13-year-old lucky number.
You know what? Why couldn't we light him on fire in the warehouse?
Yeah. Bring him back. Like, where's that? Why'd you bring a dead body? I'm going to light him on fire. Don't worry.
Light him up like a fucking Wicker Man. So that's the end of the movie. But instead of a freeze frame, because it's not the 80s anymore, it's the 90s, we get a long walking away and talking scene.
And we have Dice just going on about, you know why I hate farmers with those fucking overalls.
we took them down like fucking farmers.
What's with you and farmers, dude?
They're fucking stupid. The way they dress, their stupid hats. They're always talking about
overalls.
corn. They call soda pop. It's called club soda, not club pop.
Every fucking year with the floods, they're in their canoes or whatever, and they're talking about it flooded. Fuck yeah, it flooded. Tell you what you do.
We'll start a card company just for farmers to say, God bless the bean and fig. Your mother's a big fat fucking pig.
And then on and on and on. Like,
I mean,
it's
this is like 10 minutes of material,
Yes.
and fucking the dragons just gotta walk there and take it.
Yep.
Yeah. And clearly they were just like, okay, guys, walk out of the warehouse, but we're in the back. So,
Audience of one.
yeah, just riff while you guys walk out.
Yeah.
And I'm also
Yeah.
wondering if he's even saying any. I guess he is because he's doing his Dice Clay movements.
Uh-huh.
Because I was like, did they just have him sit in a booth and ADR it later?
Yeah, they definitely was ADR because
well, because they get further away and it doesn't get
matched up.
quieter.
Yeah.
But he is doing his like,
He's
shit.
He's
Splitting.
just doing this, and
Yeah.
then
You know this.
Dragon's just like
It works well for an audio format.
Yeah.
He's doing this.
he's
doing a little
doing the
bit of that.
arms.
You do a little bit of this, a little bit of
Pinch
that.
of that.
Boom.
And that's the end
And
of
that's
that
that.
movie.
Yeah.
So this one, I thought. So first, I want to say I thought it looked pretty fucking good. It is a Vinegar Syndrome like VSA release, so they upgrade
quality
everything.
wise,
Like
yes.
visually, like the format, like the film itself.
Yes.
There was a couple scenes that were really grainy, but like when you're rescuing film, shit happens.
Yeah.
But I thought it looked really good. It sounded good. But we'll go around for recommendations. Wife?
Honestly, I didn't hate it, guys.
Yeah.
I would actually watch this again willingly.
Yeah.
Right on
So-
top of that, dude, I'm full recommend. I mean, like it's.
I
you're
know
not-
where I'm at. I know what I'm expecting, and it was better than I expected.
and we're tight enough on time. I would definitely. I've been happy I watched it with you guys instead of alone, and
Yeah.
so, like not drinking.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies. The love interest doesn't matter. The fucking little brother we didn't mention doesn't fucking matter. It's action and fighting and explosions that I
Yes.
love.
Real explosions, no dummies.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sending it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take away a point for no dummies, but
But I'm giving a point for real men on fire.
Yes.
but you really
Two
light a guy on
times.
fire and you really launch a guy out of a cannon, basically.
2 times.
That's what happened during that fucking motorcycle scene. I'm obviously going to recommend it.
We don't
I
have a dummy
suggested
budget,
this
but we
one.
have lighting a dude on fire budget.
Obviously, I'm going to recommend it because I suggested this movie. I bought it sight unseen because I saw the thing and I was like, wait, Don the Dragon Wilson and Andrew Dice Clay in a cop movie with Fred the Hammer Williamson? Sure.
This is a movie I'm glad you own.
And I've watched it twice in the last like month and a half because I watched it and then was like, yep, we're doing that.
Yep.
So obviously, I give it a full recommend. It's not good, but it's fun.
Yeah.
So
I think it is almost a perfect movie for this podcast, like for us, because it is a bad movie, but it is super enjoyable.
Super enjoyable.
Actually, we got tits, we got butts, we got biceps, we got boobs.
We got the Joker.
we got Joe Casina. You know what? I kind of feel robbed this guy never went on because he does have such a maniacal face that, like,
Yes.
if you were just maybe even a better actor, you could be with the what's Arnold
just-
Schwarzenegger's buddy's name?
Sven Ole Thorson
Sven Thorson. Like that guy's in everything is just being a big guy. Put this fucking guy in anything.
or Jesse Ventura.
needs a
that's
better
also-
Jesse
agent.
Ventura.
He just needs a better
well,
agent.
Maybe, no one's got a better.
Well, they were all
fucking
part of
agent,
the,
Jesse
like-
Ventura.
No,
Arnold
I'm saying
Schwarzenegger movie group.
Kevin,
Yeah.
Kevin needed a better agent.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So if anybody is interested in watching it, at least as of the time of recording, it's available. Like you can get it, you can watch it on Prime for free. Like if you have Prime, you can also buy it and rent it on there. It's on like Roku, it's on Tubi, it's on Pluto. So like, it's out there.
Yeah, get you some.
If you don't want to watch it with commercials, it should be on Prime.
Yeah.
So I recommend it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
Next week we have a Thanksgiving
No,
special.
don't tell me. Oh.
That's all I'm gonna say. It's a Thanksgiving special
Ooh.
Right. So where can you get all of these podcasts?
somewhere.
Who should we thank?
Everyone.
So you can find us at badmoviesworstpeople.com. You can get us anywhere you get podcasts. You've obviously figured that out if you're listening, but tell your friends that too. Check out our YouTube sideshow, New Movies Worst People. We have a couple episodes a month. Trying to do it every other week. Obviously, it depends on what comes out and if there's anything worth doing a thing about on there. This show though comes out every week without fail.
Oh yeah.
So listen to this. Thank you, Vasion, for the opening and closing music. Go check out our merchandise. You can go to our website, click the big blue t-shirt button. We've got some cool shirts.
It's not a t-shirt anymore. It just says merch.
Oh, did I take the t-shirt? No, there's a t-shirt there.
Nope,
Yeah, it's the
it's-
T Public logo.
Okay, it wasn't, but okay.
Underneath the
find
word
out.
merch.
You tell us. Go to the website, buy some shirts, tell us how you did
There's
it.
also a big thing that says click here for merch. So,
Easy enough.
but we've got designs made by friends of the show. We've got some other like decent ones that I did, but theirs are better. So go do that. Thank you guys. We'll see you next week. You know what I mean. I have been Derek.
I'm still Whitney.
Thanks for coming back. I've been Jack.
Oh, those fucking farmers. Good night.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, how you not going to go fuck yourself with after Andrew Dice? Wait.
Hello. Is it me you're looking for?
I can smell it between your thighs.
I can smell it over here.
I can smell it in my beard.
Ew. Ew.